Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel Achieving Alpha, and a video is coming out after 2 or 3 days, so I welcome you guys back. And in this particular video we will be doing the weekly analysis as per the smart money, and we'll also have a look at the charts and try to understand what we could see next in this particular month, whether 15,000 or 16,000. Before starting, I would like to talk about a couple of points. So the first one is that there are people who are looking out for holy grails in the market. So unfortunately that doesn't exist. So one day the market did not go as expected, and basically this was the particular Thursday or the weekly expiry for this particular week which has happened. So some people will say that the data does not work, it's all BS, and it's inaccurate and all sorts of things. But let me tell you one thing, that how can you judge any particular strategy or any particular analysis which you are following in just 1 or 2 days? See, whenever you are following a particular strategy or analysis, you need to be at least testing it out for months before commenting whether this works or it does not work. Anything does not guarantee success in the short term. If you are following something and if you believe in that logically, then you should ideally test it for months, and after that you should maybe reach a conclusion. So there are things that will happen like that, and it's all up to you whether you believe in this data analysis or not. See, I'm not a market guru who comes here every day wearing a suit and then telling you that you should probably buy this or sell this. I'm not that. I'm basically trying to tell you that how you can logically try to figure out what the smart participants in the market are doing. The people who have the money, who have the resources, and who are the primary drivers of this particular market. And if you don't want to believe in that, it's totally up to you. It's fine. Everyone has their own style of trading. So this is the point here, that if at all, after putting in a lot of effort every day and going out of my way to do this particular analysis every day, and then basically if people are not interested, then okay, it's fine with me. I don't have to do this every day, and I basically started the data subscription, and thank you for those who subscribe. And I know only people who understand the true value of this particular data and the analysis and how it can affect their trading will probably understand the importance of the same. So anyways, this video is for the people who appreciate this particular effort, and not for anyone who is into tips or crazy out of the way paid trainings, teaching you about basic stuff that you can learn online for free. It's not for those people. You can continue doing that. And yes, I was pretty straightforward with you guys, so if at all you felt offended, so I am really sorry about that, but that's how it is. So enough talk, let's begin with the analysis right away. This is the daily time frame chart of Nifty. Clearly you will see an indecisive or a doji candle that has been formed on a daily time frame, and the first time for a while we have closed below the 20 EMA. So this is indicating negativity, and it's clearly no doubt that this is an indecisive candle and it can go either ways. But yes, closing below the 20 EMA is certainly not positive. And India VIX although has fallen on Friday, but what I think is it has made its base around 12, and the downside looks pretty limited, and I guess it's time for both the option players, both the buyers as well as sellers, to be happy, because buyers were sad because India VIX was falling, so the IV was falling, and therefore the options premium were not that much moving. So even if there was a move in the direction, the option premium was not showing some movement, and the option sellers were also kind of pissed off because there was no premium to sell. If you had to sell a significant premium, it wasn't available very far away, and therefore the risk is to reward was not very favorable for them. So again, looks like the India VIX is forming a base near 12, and it can basically rise in the coming days. So this is what we have on the Nifty 50 daily time frame chart. Let's have a look at the option chain and try to understand the activity better. So this is the option chain for Nifty for the next weekly expiry, that is 15th of July. Very first observation, you can see that these red bars are significantly high, and that means the open interest on the call side is looking too dominant, and this is not a very healthy sign, because you can see that it's almost Friday and you will see an OI of 5 million, which is quite significant. Although a lot of this might be to eat theta over the weekend, but still this looks like a heavy call dominant option chain, with the highest OI on the call side being at 15,800, which people think is kind of a safe zone, and these people might face some issues. Looking at SGX Nifty and the global cues recovered quite well on basically Friday, but anyways, let's see where do we open, and data will probably clear out a lot of things for us. But again, you will see that the addition on put side is not looking as heavy as that on the call side, so you can compare the magnitudes for yourself. And here the highest OI happens to be at 15,700, which I again think okay, sorry, it happens to be at 15,000, not at 15,700, although these are almost equal, but anyways. But yes, a lot of this put writing on 15,700 might be for the weekend effect and again for the theta decay. So that's what we can see. But again, the people are not very confident on these particular levels, and that's what you can clearly see in the cumulative Y that has been formed here. So again, let's have a look at the PCR. The PCR is at 0.66, clearly indicating a weak option chain, but do note that this is going in the oversold territory, so you should be aware about that. Anyways, let's have a look at the option chain for Bank Nifty. Bank Nifty, again, you will see some very good addition on 35,000. In spite of Bank Nifty closing above that particular level, you will see the dominance clearly. You will see almost 10 lakh new OI created at 35,000 call option. And although the cumulative OI on the put side happens to be more, but you can clearly see that people are too confident about 35,000, and basically the call writers are confident that Bank Nifty shall expire below this particular level in the next expiry. So this is what we can see. And the highest cumulative Y happens to be still at 36,000, because Bank Nifty was still looking a little bit strong than Nifty, and the closing for Bank Nifty has been above the 20 EMA. So that's again something which you should note. And again, the highest OI on the put side is at 35,000 itself, roughly about 13 lakh contracts. But still, if you have a look at these red bars and compare them with these green bars, you will clearly see that this is again a call dominant option chain, and there is weakness. There is no doubt about that. So anyways, let PCR confirm that. Yes, the PCR is at 0.72, which is again kind of weak. Although there is more scope of downside, this is not yet oversold, but still this is weak as of now. So let's see how global Qs performed on Friday. And yes, the global Qs were pretty strong, and there was a massive recovery, specifically in Dow Jones and S&P, and even European indices saw some really good recovery after the fall which they witnessed on Thursday. So again, you will see that the VIX has fallen by almost 9% in the US, and this is a very strong rally. And talking about the commodities, so you will see that the Brent oil again closed above 75, which is not good. And the dollar index saw some correction, so it basically went from 92.5 to roughly around 92. And the bond yields, again, you will see saw some uptick, so this almost touched 1.3, and then it saw a bounce back from there on. But again, the bond yields are looking that they are rising again, so Nasdaq could face some trouble if this continues. But again, the global Qs are looking strong, and even SGX Nifty closed around 15,800, which is good, and you can expect a gap up opening. But again, looking at the data, we'll try to understand what could be the plan and how you can trade on Monday. So let's have a look at the data and try to confirm how we can trade on Monday. Here is the activity in the cash market. Again, you will see a massive selling from the FIIs, more than 1100 crores, and almost negligible buying from the DIIs. So again, the retail participation looks quite significant even now, because you will see almost 1000 crores of buying in the cash market has been done by HNIs and retails. And you will see that in this month, it's almost 10 days over for this particular month, and you will see that the FIIs have sold for more than 4,200 crores in this particular month, and this is extremely negative. And if you compare this last week, so you will see that the buying from the DIIs seems to be fizzling out, and again you will see some net selling numbers here, and again the buying momentum seems to be fading out. So this is not a very healthy sign. Probably these guys might be looking at preserving some cash in case the market corrects, so they can pick up some of the blue chips at lower levels. But anyways, as of now, this activity looks bearish and it's not good. Let's have a look at the derivatives data and spend some time there to analyze what's happening there. Okay, so we'll start with this particular thing, which is the derivatives data, and we'll begin with the FIs. So yes, Thursday you saw some massive sell-off, and the reason was this. Just have a look at this. The net long in index futures dropped by almost 16%. And in a way, so the people who are saying that the activity is bullish, if you have been a long-term follower, you guys probably know that I have been telling you that above 70 is an overbought zone, and a correction whenever will come will be a fierce one. Although it was not that fierce, but you can see that in a single day these guys dropped their position by 16%, and you can see a healthy amount of long unwinding and a massive short build up. So this is what you can see, and this was the prime driver. And you can probably say that a lot of that negativity on Thursday was from the FIS, and they had a healthy contribution to that particular thing. And even yesterday you will see that the net long has again further reduced by almost 1.84%. Again you will see long unwinding and some minute amount of short build-up. But as of now, looks like the FIIs are turning into the bearish mode, and this is not at all a healthy sign, because overall basis you basically have a look that when this expiry ended, so basically on 25th of June when the July series began, you will see that the longs were roughly more than 1 lakh and the shorts were almost 27,000. But now if you compare, the longs are almost 78,000 and the shorts are roughly about 65k. So this shows that the FIIs are turning a little bearish, and this should be a cause of worry if you are sitting on a naked long position in the market. And this can reverse if at all a short covering from these guys come, but looks like they are preparing for a decent amount of correction in the coming days. Again, I am speaking this based on the data, not based on my personal bias or any sort of bias at all. You can see the numbers are in front of you and you can probably see whether to believe me or not. So again, this is the activity in the index futures. Let's talk about the stock futures. So stock futures, again you see that there was long unwinding as well as short covering yesterday, but again on Thursday as well you will see that a huge number of longs were unwound and basically shorts were also added. So again the net long stands at around 49.34%, and the bad part is that this time both the net long in stock futures and index futures is looking down at the same time. So this is not healthy, because this shows that the FIIs are negative both in index futures as well as in stock futures. So again, negative data, there is no doubt about that. And let's go to the options activity and try to understand what happened there. Alright, so this is the data for the options. Again, interesting data, because you will see that in options they have bought a lot of calls, and there could be a possibility that such heavy short positions in index futures they basically created, so they could have bought these calls to hedge that particular position. But at the same time you must note that the call shorts are also quite significant, so more than 1 lakh call shorts and almost more than 1,20,000 call longs. So looks like they are playing some sort of a spread, debit spread on the bullish side. So this is what we can see. And if SGX Nifty is showing a gap up, and in fact if they open gap up, then they would probably like to book these call longs. So that's what you can expect, that if at all, even if we have a gap up, that should probably be sold off. And talking about the put side, so you will see that again some good number of puts has been added as well. So these are basically the put longs, 65,000 added, but the put shorts doesn't seem to be that much. So if at all you compare the difference, so you will see that almost 40k puts have been bought and almost 20k calls have been bought. So you can see that there is roughly a difference of 20k favoring the bearish side, and a gap up opening is favorable for these guys, because that will be a golden opportunity for them to basically exit their particular call longs in a very handsome profit. So that's what we can see here, and the data is still negative both on a daily basis and even on an overall basis. You will see that the call longs are almost 3,40,000, but the put longs are more than 4 lakh, and the call shorts are again more than the put shorts. So again, the data in index options is looking bearish, the data in index futures is looking bearish, and the data in stock futures and cash market. So on every front, FII is looking bearish as of now. So let's quickly have a look at the data for pros and retail and probably wrap this particular analysis up. Index futures, there looks out to be a reduction of roughly about 2.67% from the pro desks, and you will see that there has been almost negligible amount of long unwinding plus some short build-up. So this is negative based on index futures. Stock futures is positive, because you will see that the longs made are almost 1982 and the shorts made are almost 1300. But again, this is not a lot of positive, so I would call this neutral to mildly bullish. But the index futures is looking bearish from the pro desks. And interesting to look at is the options activity. So you will see that again they have also bought some good number of calls, but the call shorts happen to be more, and the put longs happen to be more than the put shorts. So if I take the difference in the calls, you will see that roughly there has been about 10,000 lots of calls sold, so that is bearish. And talking about this particular difference, so this looks to be roughly about 26k. So again, this is 26,000 lots of puts bought and 10,000 lots of calls sold. So again, the pro desks are also looking bearish in the options activity. Let's have a look at the retail and try to wrap this particular thing up. So retail is looking bullish in index futures because you will see some very good amount of short covering from retail. So retail is looking bullish on the index futures. Talking about stock futures, so stock futures, this is massively bullish because you will see almost 11,000 longs added and 1,000 shorts added. So again, stock futures, retail is bullish. Index futures, retail is bullish. Let's have a look at the options activity and try to understand what did the retail do there. So again, this is interesting. Huge number of call longs and huge number of call shorts added. The difference happens to be roughly around 10,000. So, or I should say almost 11,000. So yes, 11,000 calls sold from retail, but the difference comes here. The puts bought are almost 2 lakh and the puts sold are more than 2 lakh 70,000. So again, almost 60,000 lots of puts sold and 10,000 lots of calls sold. So looks like the retail is bullish here as well because the put sold are significantly high. So the retail looks bullish on all the three fronts: index futures, stock futures and options. And the pros and FIIs are looking bearish on all the three fronts. So looks like the smart money has turned their hands and they are basically looking at the bearish side now. But again, things could change. But I don't think the things will only change once there is a massive amount of short covering from these particular people. But I don't see that happening. But again, there is market and nothing is guaranteed here. But still, even if they created the shorts on Thursday, the FIIs, there hasn't been a lot of fall from that particular level. So they probably haven't had a lot of profit in the futures. So let's see. Anyways, so this is our analysis for today. I hope you enjoyed this particular video, and I'm sure that if you have been an avid follower of this particular series for a long time, if you have the subscription, I'm sure that you can probably figure out these things by yourself. But anyways, let's see how do things go up, and a lot depends on the time as well. So definitely, if I get the time, then we'll continue this, and a lot of that depends on your response as well. If I continue getting some good response and at least like people appreciate this particular analysis, then I'm happy to do this and take out the time for this particular analysis. Yeah, so that's it. I hope you enjoyed this, and if you're new here and coming up for the first time, subscribe to this channel for more such content. Thank you so much for sticking around till the end. Have a good day, take care, and bye bye.